Dragons have been a central element in the epic tales of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. In this video, we undertake the challenge of ranking the top 10 dragons, comparing their awe-inspiring qualities and memorable contributions to these iconic series. Number 10. Dreamfire. One of the few adult-sized dragons on Aegon II's side, has been with House Targaryen since the reign of its third king, Maegor the Cruel. She was originally written by Maegor's niece and queen, Princess Rhaena, but spent most of her life on the other side of Westeros during her writer's self-imposed exile. When Rhaena died, Dreamfire remained riderless until she bonded with Helaena Targaryen, Aegon's little sister and queen. While Dreamfire hasn't done much in the show yet, she has had a lot of impact on the lore of Westeros. The egg that Daemon Targaryen stole to get his brother's attention was laid by Dreamfire, and there are theories that she laid the eggs that would eventually hatch. Daenerys' 3 dragons, though Helaena doesn't ride her too often. They still have a bond, and should Dreamfire be roused, her age and size make her a formidable opponent. Number 9. Rhaegal, the second largest of the Daenerys dragons. Rhaegal was named after her eldest brother, Prince Rhaegar, who died fighting Robert Baratheon at the Battle of the Trident. Identified by his green and bronze scales, Rhaegal is very much the middle child of the family, though he's closer to his younger brother, Viserion, than his elder, Drogon. In preparation for the battle against the Night King, Daenerys allows Jon Snow to ride him. Rhaegal is easily the most forgettable of the 3 dragons from Game of Thrones. Everything he does is in the companionship of a second or third dragon, which leaves him with few chances to do much. His actions in Season 8 sadly continue this trend. He is taken out of the Battle of Winterfell fairly quickly and then gets killed in the next episode because Daenerys infamously kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet. Number 8. Meleys was one of the oldest of the Targaryens' second generation of dragons, born from their original 3. She was originally ridden by Daenerys' daughter Alyssa before being claimed by the king's eldest grandchild, Princess Rhaenys. Meleys hasn't had a lot of screen time yet, but what she does have has been memorable. She has one of the most striking designs of adult dragons thus far, with her blood-red scales and the ring of spines around her head. She is also one of the dragons that pairs the best with her rider. She and Rhaenys are both older, dignified women who might not have partaken in many battles, but there is a great strength to them that should not be underestimated. Number 7. Vermithor was called the Bronze Fury. Vermithor was the personal mount of King Jaehaerys I, born early among the second-generation dragons. He made it with the dragon Silverwing, who was the dragon of Jaehaerys' queen Alicent. Following the death of the old king, Vermithor lived on Dragonstone without a rider and became more vicious and temperamental with age. By the time of the Dance of the Dragon, Vermithor is over 100 years old and is the second largest dragon in Westeros under Vhagar. As the war between the Blacks and the Green become inevitable, Daemon descends into Vermithor's lair and sings a song in Balerion to prepare him for war. This introduction is the perfect way to introduce the Bronze Fury as the old, majestic, and powerful force that he is, which is perfect to get everyone excited about seeing him in action in Season 2. Number 6. Syrax, a gorgeous golden-green dragon. Syrax was chosen as the mount of Princess Rhaenyra, Millie Alcock, and Emma Darcy. Despite her size, Syrax is another dragon who has not seen battle and rarely even goes out to hunt. However, she has accompanied Rhaenyra on numerous important missions, from stopping Daemon, from selling a dragon egg, to asserting Rhaenyra's position as Queen of Westeros. As Rhaenyra gets older and has to focus more of her duties as a ruler, Syrax appears more and more infrequently. Nevertheless, they maintain a good connection to the point where Syrax can feel her labor pains and lays eggs of her own, giving the two a bond through motherhood. Her design is also quite beautiful, with a more rounded face than the other dragons, which makes her look fierce but also more matronly. Number 5. Viserion, the smallest of Daenerys' dragons. Viserion is perhaps the most beautiful to look at, with gold and cream-colored scales. Named after her hot-tempered brother Viserys, he is perhaps the calmest of the three, though he is still able to turn violent if necessary. While rescuing Jon Snow and his team, who had gone north of the Wall to collect a white, Viserion is struck down by the Night King, who reanimates his corpse as his mount. Much like Rhaegar, Viserion didn't have much to define him during Game of Thrones' early seasons, but his death and resurrection offered something interesting and unique in the show's final seasons. For the first time, Daenerys wasn't the only power to have a dragon, and his fire was used to bring down the wall and allow the Night King to invade. Plus, seeing Viserion in battle as a white was rather gruesome. Unhindered by fear or pain, he fights ferociously and without care to his being, even after getting half of his face ripped off. Number 4. Balerion is the oldest of all the Targaryen dragons. Balerion is the only dragon known to Westeros who had seen the Valyrian Empire before its destruction. By the time Aegon I was ready to unite Westeros under his rulership, Balerion had grown to a formidable size, earning him the nickname the Black Dread. When he died during the reign of King Jaehaerys I, he was over 200 years old. Although Balerion died long before both shows aired, his legacy is still felt by the world. His fire melted the swords of Aegon's enemies into the much-coveted Iron Throne, and he alone destroyed Harrenhal, Westeros' most formidable fortress. Even his skull has incredible thematic relevance as a reminder of the potential power of dragons and the sad reality that everything must end eventually. Number 3. Vhagar during Aegon's conquest. Vhagar was initially the smallest of the 3 dragons ridden by Aegonaj and his sister wives. However, she was no less formidable in battle and fought in dozens of wars across Westeros. By the time of the Dance of the Dragons, Vhagar was the largest and oldest of the Targaryen dragons, matching the size of Balerion during the conquest. Vhagar's advanced age has done little to slow down her combat effectiveness. Though she didn't get many chances to show her effectiveness in combat in Season 1, the ending chase between her and the much younger Caraxes gave a taste of the destruction that she will bring. In Season 2, the CGI animators do a phenomenal job of capturing her size and power, especially when she flies alongside her fellow dragons. Number 2. Caraxes. From a young age, Caraxes was considered a vicious and cunning dragon, which earned him the title of Bloodworm. He was initially claimed by Jaehaerys, Al's eldest son and Rhaenys' father, Prince Aemon, until he was killed fighting against Dorne. Aemon's nephew Daemon, who rode him into many battles, giving Caraxes enough combat experience to rival. House of the Dragon went all out in depicting the Bloodworm, giving him a unique design with a long serpentine neck and wing membranes on his legs. His personality is also a good reflection of Daemon's. He is wild, fierce, and always ready for a fight. He's also rather protective of his rider, being quick to get him away from a battle when he's injured. Number 1. Drogon, the first and largest of the Daenerys dragons. Drogon is named after her first husband, the Dothraki Khal Drogo. Befitting his red and black coloring, he is the dragon who develops the strongest bond with Daenerys. It's a rocky relationship with lots of moments of abandonment, but he eventually calms down enough to let her ride him into battle. Drogon is the most iconic dragon from Game of Thrones, thanks in no small part to getting the most screen time. In many ways, he embodies everything Martin wanted from his dragons, a destructive and magical force that can never be fully tamed, and reflects the irresponsible ways man tries to harness nature to their will. His rocky relationship with Daenerys was also very interesting in the early seasons, regarding how much control she had over him, only for it to sadly be discarded in the show's final season. And there you have it, the top 10 best dragons from Game of Thrones' House of the Dragon. These mythical features, the huge dragon brings in the new trend of power, personality, and mystique to the Rift. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fantastical content.